as you can see on your screen there, joy from the West Indian president and coach and players. But not a joyful news in our cricket because Guyana Harpy Eagles trio fined for breaching Cricket West Indies code of conduct. Guyana Harpy Eagles players Verisamy Pamal and Kelvin Anderson and Renando Ali Mohammed have been found guilty of breaching the Cricket West Indies Code of Conduct in the seventh and final round of the West Indies Championship match against Trinidad and Tobago Red Force at the Queen's Park Oval. Pamal was fined 75% of his match fee for a level 2 breach of the Cricket West Indies Code of Conduct on the day of the contest. The spinner breached Article 2.1 through 2.5 paragraph 3.8 of the CWI Code of Conduct for players and player support personnel, which relate to changing the condition of the ball in breach of Law 42.3 of the laws of cricket. The charge was laid by on-field umpires Christopher Taylor and Cadnif Sydney. After the end of the first day, Pamal admitted to the offence and accepted the sanction proposed by match referee Michael Renagata, and as such there was no need for a formal hearing. Additionally, Kelvin Anderson was fined 90% of his match fee for a similar offence on the third day during the second innings of the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. Anderson accepted the sanction proposed by the match referee, and as such there was no need for a formal hearing. In each instance, the ball was changed with the batting team given the option to choose. Meanwhile, Ali Mohammed was fined 65% of his match fee for also a level 2 breach of the Cricket West Indies Code of Conduct. The medium pacer breached Article 2.1 through 2.5, paragraph 3.6 of the Code of Conduct. Throw the ball or any other item of cricket equipment such as water bottle or near player or official in inappropriate or dangerous manner. Ali Mohammed initially denied the charge, which carried a fine of 60%, but following hearing with match referee Ranagagat at the end of the opening day, was found guilty and subsequently received a 65% fine of his match fee. All level 2 breach carry a maximum penalty of a fine of between 50 to 100% of the applicable match fee and are a ban of one match or 2 one-day matches. So development in the game subsequently was drawn, with Guyana almost now retaining the 4-day championship. But Mr. Francis, this is a cloud over the brilliance of the Guyana Harpy Eagles over the course of this 4-day championship.
Definitely is a cloud over the Harpy Eagles players and management and everybody. But further to this, prior to this, I understand that Trinidad and Tobago were already ordered, given an additional 5 penalty runs for each infringement. So it's not a good thing in West Indies cricket, nor cricket in general. Sometimes your decision may go against you. You have to accept it and don't react. But players, in the heat of things, react, and this is as a result of some reaction which could have been avoided. We just hope that the captain is not involved or he did not condone the wrongs of the players. This is not acceptable in West Indies cricket nor cricket in general around the world. We know cricket to be a game of a gentleman's game, and to be behaving in such a manner just is a departure from good cricket and enjoying cricket in general. I do hope that this does not have any effect on their selection or anything further for the team, but it's bad. And I don't know if they were irritated by the crowd or anything causing them to react in that way. But for three players to be in one team, to have get into this situation that they have to react badly, it's not good. It's not a good sign, and I don't know what further action the Guyanese Harpy Eagle management will take when these players go back home. So we just wish them all the best and hope that they learn from their mistakes and just depart from doing so in the future.
Yeah, thank you for your thoughts, Hall of Fame and President of Cricket Show USA, Mr. Leon Francis. Executive Director Michael Chambers, your thoughts on these charges that have just been read out and just the cloud that now hangs over the potential and champions of our 4-day championship.
So we have two charges. So let's separate them out. We have two guys who were involved in tampering with the ball, right?
Yes.
And then we have one guy who apparently threw the ball out of anger close to another player. Is that right?
Yeah.
So it's two separate things we're looking at.
Yes.
All right. So the guy who threw out of anger, he need mind power training. We know that. So anger management. What's his name just got hit, Joseph's, not too long ago. And you would think that it would have resonated with these guys, that you don't get upset while you're on the field. So the guy who threw the ball, we're not going to see with him, but we can understand that. So we're not going to cover the entire team with his mistake. The guys now who tampered the ball, that is the part I'm not understanding. Because if I come up to Brother Leon and say, hey, let's tamper with the ball, I am the bad guy, but I would hope that the other player, Leon, would have said to me, no, Chambers, that is against the law. So if two players on the same team on the same day committed a crime, I am thinking that the whole team need some training, that they do not understand what can happen. So finding them the match fee is not the right thing to do. I would give them a 1 day or a 1 match suspension, so that they come to the match, sit down and watch the other players play. Finding them some money and then letting them play on, they will have to attempt some kind of training that the board should put on. Because for
remedial and corrective measures.
Yes, because for two guys to commit the crime, you understand what I mean? It's not like one guy hide the ball behind him back and tampered with it.
Right.
I came up to you and I say, hey, do, and the two of us did it. So there's something wrong on the team. There is something missing. So yes, remedial training, coaching, telling the guys what is right and what is wrong.
But Mr. Chambers, you remember some years ago, Australia went with a sandpaper?
No, that's what I'm saying, yes.
They had a sandpaper in their pockets. They make some changes to the ball. And it turns out that also Michael Clark, he was fined and prevented them from getting the captaincy of Australia.
Correct.
So my other point is if anybody else was involved with the option of doing something to the ball to give them, aid them in getting wickets. So
this is why I'm saying if two guys, that is troubling, that means somebody else might have known about it. So even if you don't find the other guys, there has to be some kind of remedial training telling these guys this is not what is expected of cricketers.
Yeah. Mr. Brown, are you there? Your thoughts on these latest charges and your suggestion for the improvement of the behavioral aspect of these players, because clearly, as Mr. Chambers rightfully pointed out, it was not just one, so it can't be described as a mistake, but this is clearly something that is being cherished within this team.
Yes, thank you again, Mr. Cardian. Going way back, I'll just go back to 2000, and what we live and accept, other persons are going to follow suit. And when you look at persons like Waqar Yunis, Sachin Tendulkar, Shoaib Akhtar, Rahul Dravid, Shahid Afridi, Tav Duplessis, Bernard Philander, David Warner, Steve Smith, all getting caught tampering with balls. And what you do, those people are setting an example for others to follow. And now, let us not forget our own beloved Nicholas Pooran, who a few years ago got a 4-match ban for the same offense. So these gentlemen, if you do not punish persons from an earlier time, one, not just punish them, but deal with remedial actions to let them know, do not fall into that trap, win at all costs. Now, what I would find more troubling is that on the first day of the match, one person was caught doing tampering with the ball. Nobody heard about it. It was not publicized. And then when Trinidad batted a second time, a different person from the same team was caught doing the very same thing. And I believe if they had publicized it before, after the first incident, perhaps the second incident would not have taken place. But because they kept it silent, kind of sweep it under the rug, you wonder what it is that they're really trying to do. And it really puts a cloud over what Guyana has achieved, not just for this season, but in seasons gone in the past, because these same players were there playing. Yeah. And you wonder if they were doing it all along.
Yeah, but Mr. Brown, Cricket West Indies would say they wouldn't want to come out and say something while the game was going on. Do you think that that was the kind of measure they were trying to take until the game is finished? Because right after the game call off this evening, they send out a rather, because we heard before, but they were very silent. So do you think that they had taken a decision not to say anything while the game was on?
Maybe they did, but if they did, that was the wrong decision. You take the bull by the horns and you let people know, because you gave them a penalty. So it is not as if you're hiding the fact that you gave them the penalty. Say what it is that they did and let them know in no uncertain manner that you were caught doing this. Now, of all the bans that the tampering incidents that I spoke to you about, only David Warner, the great Australian opener, got a 1-year ban for his infraction. Steve Smith got a 1-year ban for his infraction, and both of them were prevented from captaining Australia for a period of time. You come down to Nicholas Pooran, who got a 4-match ban. So we knew about it And they spoke about it during the course of the match. Cricket West Indies, for proper governance and transparency, need to publicize these things. And it reminds me of the allegations about what happened within the women's team, where it took them 5 years to say something about it. You have to clean up your governance issues. If players are caught doing something during the course of a match, you can't suspend the team, but you can suspend the players. You can say what they did. Don't levy a fine against them at that time, but just say what it is that they did, and that at the end of the match, you'll be looking into it and making an announcement. I would have preferred for that.
Yeah, very, very strong word from Dale Brown, Honorary Secretary of the Cricket Hall of Fame. We also heard from Michael Chambers, the Executive Director of the Cricket Hall of Fame. We have heard from President of Cricket Show USA, Mr. Leon Francis. He's also a Hall of Famer. Let me just read a statement here from our perspective. Statement from West Indies Cricket Development Academy. We strongly condemn the action of the Guyana Harpy Eagle team in the 7th round of the West Indies 4-day championship. Unacceptable behavior. It has come to our attention that 3 players from Guyana, who we now know their name, team attempted to alter the condition of the ball to gain an unfair advantage. This behavior is unacceptable and undermines the integrity of the game. We urge Cricket West Indies to take decisive action against the players involved and address this serious breach of cricketing ethics. We have acknowledged that Cricket West Indies would have listened to us and have taken the measures against these 3 players. But we want to go on record to say commitment to fair play. At the West Indies Cricket Development Academy, we are committed to promoting fair play, sportsmanship, and the values of cricket. We will not tolerate any behavior that compromises these principles. And so we want to say to Cricket West Indies that we certainly are happy for the action that you take, but you should go further. Further in that you should be transparent, and as Mr. Michael Chambers would have suggested, that corrective measures should be put in place to prevent such things from happening again. And as we have rightfully said, this now put a cloud over the champions. Yet again, the champions, the Guyana Harpy Eagles, reign in our 4-day cricket. Certainly, this is not the way we expected it to end, but nevertheless, we congratulate Tevin Imla and leading Guyana again to another 4-day championship title. But we urge the management of the Harpy Eagles to clean up their act and to remain and to play fair cricket. And we have to set an example here in the region to our youngsters for them to follow proper examples and to play the game no matter what in honesty and in fairness. From us here at West Indies Cricket Development Academy, thank you for joining us. Thank you for logging on. And we will be back with you another time as we continue to give you the honest conversation in West Indies cricket. President of Cricket Show USA, Mr. Leon Francis, thank you for joining us this evening. Honorary Secretary, Mr. Brown, thank you for joining us. And Executive Director of the Cricket Hall of Fame, Mr. Michael Chambers, thank you for joining us. Goodbye, fans from all over the world. We thank you for logging in today and listening to us. Goodbye.